draft the agreement and have it um, signed and ratified at the September council meeting?
Usually we would draft the agreement and they'll actually, we would provide their agreement and their lawyer would just provide us with proof that it's on attached to their deed, that the agreement's there.
But the agreement in order to enter into an agreement, you have to have a bylaw from council entering into the agreement.
Okay, we can bring it to the next council meeting then and do that.
It has to authorize the mayor and clerk, CAO, to enter into an agreement. There has to be authorization in the council meeting.
Yes.
And the agreement has to be attached to the bylaw.
Yes. In this agreement, do you want the $2,200 or not?
No, I don't. I think we can waive that. We have a signed agreement and a timeline.
I think there should be a retainer, and then when the second house, the existing house is destroyed, then they get their $2,200 back. It just makes it, I've seen a couple of different properties over the years where they've made this type of agreement, and all of a sudden that property is being severed off, and the two existing house and the new house is remaining. So I think we stick with the retainer, and when the existing house is demolished, they get the retainer back.
Councilor McLaughlin.
I'm going to ask Doug this question. What do we do in past practice? And I know we've done this before.
In past practice, we have asked for the security.
Well, then I think we should do as we did in past practice and continue. So that would be my thoughts.
Miller, Reeve Miller.
I tend to go the other way on it. We got to take a chance once in a while, and I have no problem with Ben Snyder, and I think we should deal the guy a little break. I mean, he's building a new house, and it's $2,200, and I think it's all going to work out. We've got to take the odd risk here. Make the guy happy. It's no big deal. He's already stated he'd like a break. I think we should give him a break.
Councilor Regier.
I have to agree with Councilor Jackson and Councilor McLaughlin. I think if it was me personally, I would love to see him have a break as well. But then what happens when the next one comes? And I mean, it can happen. Councilor Jackson said it can happen. So I think I would go to still $2,200 a day. But you have to
Councilor Olmsted.
Doug, what's the $2,200? What's the fee based on? Is it always the same fee, or is it a percentage of the value of the property?
I think it's based on, Chris, that if the township had to go in and take the building down, that would be the tipping fees for the building.
Councilor Jansen.
But it wouldn't include the cost of staff doing it, so I think $2,200 is certainly reasonable.
Councilor McKay.
I know Ben Snyder and the whole house is done, so tear it down, so I don't think we can worry about $2,200. Opinion?
All right. Yeah. Sure. Olmsted and then Carol.
So Doug, just on clear in my own head, he's receiving a building permit to build a new house, which has a fee attached to it. What's that fee?
Well, it'll be so much a square foot. The fee of 40 cents a square foot, whatever the square footage is.
So that's obviously this gentleman's concern is that he's has so much invested in the actual building permit, and then he's got another $2,200 invested in the tearing down of the house. I'd like to know the value of the building permit.
Well, the building permit, if it's a 2,000 square foot house, it would be easy to loan.
Councilor McLaughlin.
I think we're beating around here, and like Councillor Rager said, it's a precedent-setting that we're doing. If we waive this one, then we want to be ready to waive all the rest of them. And that's where I sit. And I never, and I've heard this before, well, we'll look at each case. I disagree. I think we set it, and we stick with the decision that we made, and no matter who it is, then it will come forward, and we'll do the same as we did with the last one. So that's why my feelings are, we've done this in the past, and we shouldn't deviate from what we've done in the past. So that's my comment. And then yes, you're right. The house is probably, there's no doubt about it. It's old, and yes, Ben Snyder's probably going to tear it down, and I don't disagree with that. My thoughts are, what happens to the next person that comes?
Councillor Jackson.
I think it's important not to treat people just because we know them different from people that we don't know. I think everybody needs to be treated the same, and just because certain council members know this gentleman, I don't know him, and it doesn't matter. I want everybody treated fairly across the board, and if this is the way things were done in the past, I think it's very important that we stick to that. And if $2,200 is going to bury him because he can't build a $200,000 house, then that $200,000 house is going to take 20 years to build.
Just discussing our councillor.
Number one, I guess there's two items here. I would be in agreement to let him keep his existing house until he takes, until the building takes occupancy. But I'd like to propose that we keep a retainer of $2,200 less the amount of his building permit, whatever that may be. So if it's $1,000, then that's $1,000 for the building permit, $1,200 as a retainer. So the township has the money, but that's a suggestion. You got the math on that?
We started out with, from what I'm hearing, that we're going to get an agreement through our building inspector, and so now we need to have a consensus of which way we're going to go on that, so we'll need to have a vote. Yeah, there's two issues. The first issue, I think, is a non-issue. Right? I think it's a non-issue. So that second issue is, are you willing to put that into a motion? You just did. Can you get a seconder? Sorry, we can have that.
Some understanding, so that I presented that motion, it gets voted on. If it gets turned down, then he pays the full retainer.
This motion is that we deduct the building permit from the retainer.
The amount of the building permit.
Yeah.
He still pays the building permit. This is just reduced by that.
And once again, because I do still stand that this is precedent setting, even doing it this way, I'm going to request a report.
And not many people live in a house while building the other one beside it. They're tearing it down.
These houses will be built in the near future.
Mr. Mayor, think there's one building still up. Am I not correct on that, Doug? That there is one of these issues still there?
Yeah, we do have one that's still there, but we have his money yet.
Yeah, we still have the money, and the building's still there.
And
So he may be coming to the door tomorrow
Chris,
for a
the
reduction.
thing is, for
We still have
$2,200,
his
they can just sit on it. Who cares? That's kind of my issue. Why bother? Curiosity. Yeah, so we start with the now clockwise. Okay. Moved by Chris Olmsted, seconded by Terry Miller. Be it resolved that the council of the township of Whitewater Region deduct the building permit amount from the $2,200 retainer. We have to have that. I got the comp link. He made the finding of motion. Be it resolved that the council of township of Whitewater Region deduct the building permit amount from the $2,200 retainer for Ben Schneider's new home for the demolishing of the old house. All right, Chris, yea and nay, you start counterclockwise. There.
Nay.
Yay.
Oh, sorry. Wait, I'm still voting aye. Okay, it's carried. Producer name. Bill, could you come forward? Or it's like when the Lord said on Moses, come forth, and he fell, lost all of your money, came in thin. Can you come forth? Okay. We're on the
last meeting, it was discussed about whether we do double surface treatment onto Grant Settlement to 8.4 meters wide or step it up to an asphalt surface. Part of the reason we bought this tonight was because Ron Moss was coming in to talk to you about active transport, and from what I heard from him, they feel that double surface treatment is more than sufficient for a hardened shoulder for active transport. So, just looking for direction where you want me to go with that now.
I think we don't state active transportation, it's a hardened surface shoulder.
We can
That's
say active transport, we just can't say bike lane. It's a hardened shoulder to
Accommodate.
well, or enhance active transport. I think that's the way the county puts it.
Okay.
This title has rocks, but put somewhere, you know,
Yeah.
we're going there
And-
so often that
And maybe what we should do is bring a policy forward sometime by next summer, by next budget meeting, so
Okay.
we kind of know where we're looking at. If we bring up another road next,
Absolutely, that's something that should be looked at. What roads through the, like if we're going to start a network in Whitewater,
Yep.
because the next portion to Powers on Grant Settlement won't be too bad to build, but from there down,
it's going to be very difficult
it's going to be very big
and
bucks
costly.
to build it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, sorry? We need grants, we need money to do it. It's not going to be easy down through there. There's rock cuts and everything else. So, I guess the direction I need tonight is, do I go ahead and do the double surface treat on Grant Settlement, or do you still want to look at doing asphalt? Okay, so I'm going to need at least 2 weeks to finish the road bed before they'll be able to chip it, and then I don't know how far out they're booking for double surface treatment now for Greenwood.
get her in before the 15th of September.
So, do you want me to put a deadline on that? If you can't do it by the 15th, we leave it till next year? This is the problem we're starting to run into now. Like, it's the middle of August now. We did magnesium pretty late last year, and it's held up pretty good, so.
Councillor McLaughlin.
Yeah, Magnesium Road also was repaired, what, about 4 years beforehand, Bill? 2 years? Was it tore up? I still don't. How long has Lookout Road been chipped? When was it done?
I'm going to say this will be its third summer.
Third summer, so really, you know, is that giving it a fair is there more roads? Like, I really don't, and personally, I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a waste of money, because I don't think the tar and chips will stay on the road. I want to see it widened, and what I would really like to see is the sides, the bicycle lanes paved, but try and get some grant money to pave the active transportation. What did you call it?
Hardened shoulder for enhancement of active transportation.
Okay, that area, but I think that we should be hunting for tourism dollars or some kind of a grant to get money to do it properly and pave those two sides, tar and chip the middle as we had proposed at the start, widen the road so that it would be ready if we could get some grant money, if that could happen. I just don't see spending the money to tar and chip it on the sides. That's just my own personal thoughts. I think go ahead, if we're going to tar and chip, go ahead and tar and chip the middle of it, the roadway as we had proposed at the start and budgeted for it. So I think that needs to be done. As far as widening, tar and chipping, widening of the road, I think I personally don't think it works, but that's just my thoughts.
My experience is if you do the road monolithic, you're going to have a lot better success with it. If you do it in two sections, two different products, you're going to have separation very, very prominent. So it needs to be done monolithic, and I don't think we have any chance of going forward with anything except double surface treatment on that section. If in the future we get a bunch of grants, that's just my thought too. Any more questions, Dave?
Just thinking maybe we tar and chip and do the shoulders on this road, and then we get down to the heavier bike traffic down along tours and all that. Maybe try and get that paved, the whole road.
Well, we're looking, you know, if section by section, by the time we get down to this end, it could be 4 or 5 years before we get there, right? So maybe by then we will have found a money source for doing something like that. Just right now we're in a time crunch.
And if we change it, I would strongly suggest that we would still go monolithic, whatever product we're using.
Yeah, one right through. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Councillor McLaughlin, but paving one part and trying to double surface the other, it's not going to work right.
Well, I just want to say I'm not a road super, and I will certainly take what you tell me. It's just my thoughts.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And I'm bringing them forward. If you think one product has to be one product, then that's where we need to go. I just feel that it won't hold up, and I think it's money. But I do understand what you're telling me.
And to be honest, active transportation's only really been promoted in the last couple of years, so, you know, as it gets further and further in, there are going to be more products and more different ways come out to try and do a more economical road for this. It's so new that we haven't had a lot of time to experiment with it. So maybe in the future there will be something that is more cost effective and will suit everybody better too.
So we are going to move forward, and we'll be looking for a motion to instruct Bill to widen a new service street or whatever we're going to do here forward. Do we have any way to make a motion? Make the motion. For Heart and Shoulders from La Paz Road to Power.
Yeah, to double surface to 8.4 meters wide. No, a width of 8.4 meters wide. Okay. Next year probably, yes. If we can get it all in this year and hopefully get it packed in enough, if we feel it's in good enough shape, then yes, we will put the lines on it next year.
I know, I'm not that too. Yeah, there is smoke coming out, so like.
There's a sign of
Okay, good.
overweight and weakness.
Got the team here, we're good.
Just for a little bit more information, I did talk to some of the avid bicyclers in our municipality, and I told them what, you know, the different options we were thinking of. And he said to me, and he rides one of the bikes with the skinny tires, he said the double surface street is fine because we'll be riding on the road portion of the road anyways. The Heart and Shoulders for when a car comes and they can safely get off onto that Heart and Shoulder. So they're not necessarily going to be riding out on that shoulder all the time. It's just to give them a safe alternative for when a car is coming. So, just so you understand where they were coming from too.
Well, listen here, if we're spending the money for them to be out there, they better be out there. Moved by David Mackay, seconded by Charlene Jackson. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region directs the Public Works Manager to have double surface treat applied to Grant Settlement Road for a width of 8.4 meters. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried. Moved by Darrell McLaughlin, seconded by Chris Olmsted, be resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region will donate $100 to the annual golf tournament that the Royal Legion Ranch 550 will be hosting on September 17th, 2016. Council also asks these requests come during budget time. Councilor McLaughlin.
I'm pretty sure that that request did come through at budget time. I'm pretty nearly positive that that request was on there. And if you check our donations, I'm sure you're going to find that there's a $100 donation was decided. But I might be wrong.
Councilor,
I would like that verified because it wasn't included in the budget. I think once again, it will request have come through here in our practice facilities t-shirts. Matter of fact, you've got the Muskrat Minor Hockey right below looking for them. So, you know, if it has not been involved in the budget, I would be in favor of donating a t-shirt as we've done in the other clubs that have came forward this year.
Councilor,
I'm wondering if we could just take a little recess and see if Erica could maybe check and find out.
we could get Erica to do that your request, and we can go on to Councilor announcements just so that we can keep moving on. Would be in the department.
I don't have Whitewater in the refrigerator.
Councilor McLaughlin, we start out any announcements? Oh, let's wait till she gets back with the rest of those. Because we're going to find out.
Okay.
Or we can do number 4 if you want.
Well, I know that it's not a request that was there at
Steve.
the time of budget.
Erica may not have access to that information. That's the treasurer who's got to dig that up out of her computer.
Yeah.
So
Then
she may not be able to
we
find
wait
that.
until the next council meeting to approve or disapprove it. If that's the case, I think we still have time at the next council meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. Moved by Darrell McLaughlin, seconded by Chris Olmsted, be resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region will donate to the first annual tournament that the Muskrat Minor Hockey will be hosting on August 20th at the Oaks of Cobden. Council also asks that these requests come during budget time. So the blank would be a golf shirt. Any questions? All those in favor? Shirt it is. Carried. Now can we move to councilor announcements? While we're waiting, carry on. Councilor McLaughlin.
I really don't have too much other than I know that the Cobden Fair is coming up the end of August, and I'm wondering, are we interested in manning the food booth? We did it in the past. I know we didn't do it last year. It's just something that I'm sure the request will come out there. So just maybe thought. If you're interested or how it fits into schedules.
I might be available.
they had no issues, because I was talking to them, they had no issues moving other volunteers into the position. That's probably why we didn't get a request again this year. But Darrell?
Maybe that's a good reason, or maybe we'll wait to see if there is a request come forward. Then we can deal with it at that time.
Yes. Can you repeat that, sir? Yeah. I'm good any time after 6:30. Okay, Councillor Olmsted?
Yeah, unfortunately on the bad news side, I was just informed today that a member of our community, a 23-year-old, has Hodgkin's disease. There's going to be a benefit September 24th at the Ag Hall. Stacy Boothby's son, that family, Ryan Boothby, so that family's had a tough go of cancer. So he'll be off work. The young lad is working now, I'm led to believe. So he'll be off work for several months and taking chemo. So they're currently going around to businesses and putting in a letter for any support. And then they're running benefits September 24th at the Ag Hall.
Further to that, he works for Bonashare Excavating. He has worked under me quite a few times. And last weekend, Bonashare Excavating had a golf tournament to raise money on his behalf. And I can't give you the amount, but I can tell you it was substantial. And they were pretty excited that they could help. And they're the ones organizing this dance, I believe, aren't they? Yeah. I think that we want to check this. Yes. It's right on the ground floor.
Okay, as for your request, I wasn't able to find it, so I apologize.
Yes, let's put it back on the agenda for September. Is that? Oh, yeah. We have lots of time. Okay.
Now, I do know that Marcia did put, she is putting now, council asked, the bottom portion, council also asked that these requests come during budget time, and the reason that she's asking that is, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That we had tried to push that last year. We did get all the people. Not all. All right. Minor hockey?
Yes.
Bobby, you were at it? You got her done. Yeah, I got her done. You know, it's easy enough. That was going on the shelf. Okay. Moved by Chris Olmsted, seconded by Darrell McLaughlin. Be it resolved that the Township of Whitewater Region went into closed session under Section 2392 of the Municipal Act at 9:40 p.m. for the following purpose: personal matters about an unidentified individual, including municipal or local board employee, a proposed or pending acquisition of disposition of land by the municipality or local